Hello guys, welcome to Digital Stories Podcast. My name is Luis.
I'm Ronnie.
And today's episode is Godless World and Spineless Man.
Man.
Alright Ronnie, so what does a godless world look like to you or mean to you?
So first off, when you talk about godless world, we may think of like a god or religion, right? And that's exactly what it is. Being in a godless world nowadays is like having no clue where you're going because you have no higher purpose outside of you to like go to or go to guidance for. For example, like the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You can find a lot of valuable stuff in the Bible that can help you, take a certain direction of where you want to go in life.
Yeah.
And that's like, being in a godless world.
Yeah, I like that. And to give context to at least the first half of this podcast, I generally believe there's too many vices and distractions in this world that is crippling and starving the souls and minds of the youth. How's that being done? For one, through music.
Music is a big one.
Yeah, they degrade women first of all by using very foul language.
It's very vulgar, like.
Yeah.
And it's crazy we even listen to that kind of stuff.
But you even enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I even hear rappers or songs preaching about selling their souls, and we dance with this and celebrate it.
Because we don't think twice about it. We just say, oh yeah, that's cool, but it's actually being said for a reason.
Yeah, it's a part of way of brainwashing us and enjoying to degenerate behaviors. Another example I'll give you is the movies. Mm-hmm. Hollywood is almost like mocking God and mocking or like twisting how we should do things. For example, why is your bachelor party or bachelorette party the day you're single before you get married? How are you going to give yourself to someone else before you give your whole life to another person the next day? How does that work? I thought marriage was loyalty to death do us apart.
And even if you're like signed or not, you already kind of made that contract with that person in a way where it's not like it has to be like written.
Exactly. Like tomorrow you guys are putting on the rings. I thought this was sad.
Yeah.
You're gonna be single the day before you commit.
Nah, that's crazy.
And on top of that, there's so much like incentives to be bad, like city girl life. Let's say
to act a certain way where it's not respectful,
mm-hmm.
like to act like the opposite of what you should be acting.
And it's funny because people buy into these things, but I promise you, the creators of this music or these movies are not living this lifestyle. I mean, look at Apple, look at Google. All these people that work in these companies do not even let their kids touch or even look at any technology until they are a certain age and a certain maturity.
Yeah, bro.
That's for a reason, because they know it's addictive. And they know what's on there is not really the most positive thing. And now with the economy being the way it is, it has two parents working.
Yeah, so the child is not really being raised
mm-hmm.
right or by the actual like parent. It's raised by the social media, the tablets, the school system, which is all right, but at the same time it's not really good neither. You know what I mean?
It's not, and let alone they don't even got time to even show them morals and like
what's right or wrong.
Exactly, and that's why religion comes into play. And first of all, I'm not trying to convert nobody. I just think that you should believe there's something else
outside of you.
Outside of you, yes. And so your ego can come down, it can humble yourself. And we see great stories. Adam and Eve, don't disobey your parents. Also in that same story, you are taught the women are a gift from God to men.
Mm-hmm.
So we should value them and cherish them.
Yeah, bro. We should take care of them, protect them, provide for them. Everything that we must do.
Exactly. They're the givers of life, plus it's our role to provide and protect. It's an instinct, it's primal, it's what we're made to do.
It's what we're made to do, exactly.
That's why we have the strength we have, the speed we have, the height we have.
So now going to the second half of the podcast is a spineless man.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a spineless man?
Well, yeah, so a traditional man, right, provide and protect. And the reason that's going away little by little, for one, there's no accountability. No one's taking responsibility. People, men especially, are impregnating women and living them as deadbeats.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you like 5 kids, and I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
Like
that's ridiculous. I mean, the woman can't choose, right, who they sleep with, but at the end of the day, like that's a life that man made. Like it should be his duty to take care of it, regardless. And honestly, that's such a coward act. I really don't know how you can bring something to this world that vulnerable and leave it alone.
And not be there at least to teach it.
Yeah, it's
And then
ridiculous.
now you messed up your life because you probably gonna feel away eventually when you see them growing up. You gonna mess up the woman's that you just left life. Now she's gonna be scarred, and then the child is not gonna grow up and not knowing who their father is. So it's already a mental issue that the kid is gonna battle already.
And just going a little back, the Adam and Eve thing, when they commit a sin, right? Usually they say it's a fruit, but when they give the fruit an object, it's usually an apple. What do you see behind every iPhone? An
apple.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And when we hold it, it almost looks like we're praying to it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we are now living a life, right, where we giving our attention, focus, and energy
Towards
something that takes power away from us. And I get it, it's not like a need, but if you're not studying there or doing communication or anything productive, you really should just be outside or like figuring out how to create something. And this is why we started this podcast, really, to take initiative.
Take initiative and to stand for something outside of us. Like this gives us purpose, gives us drive to come out here to nice places and just talk about certain issues that are going around the world.
And it makes us accountable, which is something really missing. Like now that we have this podcast, we're not gonna eat healthier and work out. And actually, we've been doing this for several years. And this is why we are able to be woke, I guess, and like see why everybody else indulges in life the way they do. And this is us just trying to teach you guys a better way to be more productive in your own life.
And like you guys, I know because I've been there before. You know, I've woken up and be like, yo, I should be at this certain, I should be doing this kind of thing. But then it's like I never realized that I had certain things that were holding me back. And so I took charge and I took self-control to realize what those things were. You know, like social media, like addiction, you know, porn addiction, a lot of things that are in the system for a reason to distract you from what's really real, like this, bro. Like you need to be doing, you know, going outside and touching the earth.
Right. And that's the thing. We're so disconnected from the earth right now, and it's ridiculous. And the activities we do separates us even more from the earth and ourselves. When we go out partying, drinking, having fun, right? The where you go to have this drink, right? Whether it be a fast food place or a bar, those holes are not even clean. You're drinking mold. And on top of that, you're an athlete, right? You think you're doing something good. The Gatorade that you're drinking from, right? They pour that Gatorade hot into the bottle, which makes the plastic being chipped away. And little by little, since the plastic is chipping away inside that bottle from the heat of the Gatorade, now you're drinking plastic. And now you're wondering, well, why is this happening? Why is all this evil? Why us, right? I'm gonna tell you why. It's because they want you weak. They want you a sheep. They want you spineless.
And this goes back. Microplastics have an effect on hormones, bro, on the testosterone hormone. So you see, everything that is in food packaging, it's made of plastic, bro. So there are certain chemicals in the plastic that literally lower testosterone, bro. So it's not like by design, but it's there for a reason, mate. Like you never know. A tap water is fucked up. It's messed up. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of things in the system that are just there to like. If you don't like really take charge and really think deep, then you're not gonna be able to get out unless you become disciplined. You become self-controlled. You follow a routine and you really dig deep into what you're doing, what you're eating, and planning. Like you know what I mean?
And this is why we feel so comfortable talking about this, because we were there. We did indulge in those things, and then we came out stronger on the other side. And that's why we're feel certified, able to talk about these certain topics. Because if we are able to break through it, guys, and have self-mastery, at least to a portion, you will too, and trust me, you will want to. Because there's nothing better than controlling yourself. As a matter of fact, as a man, if you can control your penis, your mouth, what you speak, and your stomach, what you eat, you have solved over 90% of your problems.
90% of your problems are gone, bro, by just controlling those few things.
Temptations. And you'll be more focused, more aligned, and more driven, and you feel almost superhuman, because anything you want to do, you will go after it, because you're not distracted, and then you will do it faster and even better.
Respectfully. And the few things you just need to get started is to have a purpose, work out, and eat right. Those few things, if you start those few things, man, you're gonna be ahead and you're gonna be crushing it.
And that's how it is. Little chips, little by little, little wins lead up to big wins. For example, like when people have cancer, they don't have cancer overnight. It's a little white blood cell building up little by little by little, and then boom, you're basically dying now. It's just like we can take that analogy and do it into something positive for us. Okay, I'm gonna do 1% better today, 1% better tomorrow. You 1% better every day. By the end of the year, you're over 300% better than what you were last year.
Respectfully.
But to do that, you have to have good habits. You have to, for one, change your circle. Because let's say, oh, Louis, don't worry about that. I'm sober. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Even if you don't do it yourself, but your friends do, well, for one, you secondhand smoking, and then two, you might have peer pressure, exactly, and you might indulge in it anyway later on. And even if you don't, if you're sitting in a dark room, just drinking and smoking, right? You're literally killing yourself because you're doing nothing. Because if you're not progressive, you're like progressing in life, you're basically already dead. You're a zombie, a walking dead man. Like think about it. You're sitting in a room for hours doing absolutely nothing. Your parents came here from wherever they came, worked like there was no tomorrow to give you a better life, and you repay them by sitting in a room, taking power away from yourself and doing nothing. For hundreds of years, your ancestors have fought for survival, and what you give them in return is you sitting at home, smoking weed and beating off. Is that all you have to show? Thousands of people have died for you, and that's what you wake up to do the next day.
It's crazy, bro, and like people need to wake up.
They do.
People and like if you are in the place of what we just described, it's okay, because you know why? Because when you realize that you're in that certain place, that's all you need. Because if now you know you can change.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of people who are indulging into these habits and they don't know where they are, and there's like a loop. They wake up, they repeat the same thing. They're not asking themselves, oh, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And as they wake up and redo the same thing, and eventually they keep doing that for years. And eventually they wake up one day, it's too late already. They have an alcohol problem, they have a weed problem, they have a fucking beating their dicks problem. They have a lot of problems, and
right.
They can't solve it because they've like instilled all those bad habits over a long time.
And yeah, and one first step to fix all that is first acknowledge it, and then two, your circle gotta change, and then you actually have to take initiative. And I know it's scary because in school you're told don't ask questions, don't raise your hand, don't go to the bathroom unless you have permission, don't work with other people, it's cheating. There's only one right answer. Don't take a risk. And you hear that for 18 years straight, right? So now you're terrified of the world because you're just like, you know what, I don't want to think. I'm going to listen to what they're telling me to do, and I'm going to just do what they tell me because I don't want to think for myself. I'm too scared to do so. And honestly, this is part of the reason we're doing this, to actually have control of something in our lives, to take initiative. And trust me, guys, there's nothing more fulfilling than working for yourself, especially when you're serving others.
Exactly.
And the reason why we're so spineless, another point is because look at our activity level, man. You think the Spartans or the Athens had depression?
Hell no.
That's like, what type of bullshit is that?
They had no time to be depressed, nigga.
Exactly. They were too busy moving. When you're working 60 to 80 hours a week, you got no time to be a me. You got no time to smoke. You got no time to drink. Like, and that's what you guys should be doing. You should be creating or
learning,
developing, something in you to be better. So much that it takes your time to indulge in bullcrap and take power away from you.
Respectfully.
And I know I sound like so Louis, you're saying don't have fun then, don't indulge in women, you can, but just have a balance. Don't make it a lifestyle, and just at least try to have a brain of your own. Because if not, why were you being alive then, to be somebody else's puppet and just being told and being rewarded by a master? So like then, if you really think about it, has slavery gone away? It has, because I'm getting paid for my labor now. But if they can print money out of thin air and give it to you while being taxed, so they didn't, they're not going to give you the full thing.
They don't even give you the full thing.
What is that not a somewhat slavery then? Because it's free labor to a point.
It's the new form of slavery nowadays, especially here in America. It's the new form of slavery. Like, for example, in DR, you don't pay no property taxes. What you buy, you own it. You don't have to pay a government. You don't have to pay nobody, unless you're paying for the bill, for the light bill, whatever. That's different. But here you gotta pay for property tax. You have to pay for you get taxed on food. You get taxed on water. You get taxed on breathing.
Basic living needs, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's the new form of slavery.
And I think in Dubai, yeah, I know for sure in Dubai you have no income tax. So whatever you earn, you keep. But if you're an American citizen, you still get taxed here. Even though you live over there, unless from what I know right now, you actually remove your American citizenship, and then that's the only way you won't get taxed.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah. Do you think you'll do it?
I'll do it if I'm sad, when I'm sad and I'll live over there. I'll do it, just because I can keep more of my money.
Yeah, that's
true.
And
I can live somewhere else comfortably.
Yeah, you'll be more nomadic. No one can really stop you from moving place to place.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's a big one for me, because then every time I come here, I'm seen as an immigrant or an alien. So I don't know.
I mean, I like to live all over the world. Like, have one place here, have one place over here.
Yeah.
Just to move around eventually, but.
That's cool. I think I want the same thing too.
If there's benefits, I'll do it.
You're right, exactly. Keep what I have earned. Why not, right? And another teaching I want to touch upon is the brainwashing again, real quick. Even when it's not verbal, they put it in laws. What do I mean? Look at the divorce rates, and look how much winning percentage there is on the woman's side. And to give you a prime example of where I'm heading, Tyreek Hill, right? He has an ex-wife. This woman gets, I think he has to pay her over $630,000 a year for child support. I don't have any kids, but I'm pretty sure a kid yearly does not need $500,000.
She don't need to work no more, bro.
Yeah, she's retired. So that's because of that.
That's crazy.
And it's like, so even when it's not in movies, when it's not in music, it's through actions. Like they reward you leaving the man nowadays, and it's crazy because relationships are so beautiful, and I feel like we need a nuclear family more than ever now. 2 parents in a household to just keep that mobile framework,
Yeah, definitely.
And little by little, it's just going away. People are losing their senses. Kareem Pierre, some lady from the White House, right? She said that, I feel bad for trans people because they're under attack or whatever, right? If you don't know the context on that speech, it sounds like a regular speech, right? But mind you, she said this after a transgender person went to a church, killed 6 people, and 3 of them were kids. So it's like, not only they brainwash you to paint your nails as a man, cut off your dick, wear skirts, but if you do something as evil as that, as a trans, you actually get supported.
What the?
You get away with it.
That's crazy, bro.
It's like the moral baseline.
It's out the fucking window.
And then we're about to lose it. Like right now, pedophilia is bad, but in a couple of years, it might not be so bad. Who knows? Maybe your kid might get raped in school, and he might be okay. That teacher might not have no punishment.
Yo, they're making abnormal things a normal thing.
And there's actually a campaign for pedophiles right now. It's called like the National Love Man Association, something like that, bro. You can Google it. And those men are making campaigns to make pedophile okay. For, I think, Man Love Boys Association, something like that. It's insane.
That's weird.
And it's like
Very weird.
now we're going through our most primal,
State.
yeah, and just indulging in what comes at us, sex and violence. Oh, I can kill this person, awesome. I can fuck this guy, nice, and just get away with it, and it's supported, it's celebrated. And so boom, instead of the cross in school, they put a rainbow flag. Okay, instead of punishing me, they reward me. Now I get celebrated, I get parades.
Man, this is why we need a higher force outside of us so we can guide, so we can
Yeah.
get guided, man.
And if you don't want to convert, at least try to make grace, right? Be grateful and being loving. Make love your God. Love is my God.
Yeah.
You know, I move with kindness everywhere because for all I know, my first time meeting you could be my last time. So when I make
My first or last.
every concert I make with every being or every creature, I want it as best as possible because I don't know if I'm going to see you for the next time.
Respectfully.
And now people's gods are like violence and
Drugs.
drugs, and the parents are the phones, TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, bro. Didn't the other day you tell me that some person came into the store and you seen something on their T-shirt saying drugs, not hug. If you touch me, I die.
Yeah, so
What kind of shit is that?
guys, I have a little side gig, and as a delivery guy for a pizza store, and there was a woman that came in the store, and her shirt says, "Drugs, not hugs. Touch me and die."
What is
It's
that,
like-
bro? What is that about, man?
Yeah, and sometimes I think maybe a meteor wouldn't be so bad. You know, a meteor coming at light speed, surrounded by asteroids, just crashing down on Earth. Maybe it's not the
We
worst
need a
idea.
Fuck it, we need a reset.
Yeah, let's
honestly.
just reset the whole Earth.
That's fucking crazy.
But talking about violence, sometimes it's even protected. And like I will say in the old days, 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s, when it was protected, right, no snitching, it was at least in a cool way. But now when that cool came out, there's no honor among thieves. It really makes no sense to protect violence. Like if you see something, just say something. Like especially if it's that like bad.
If
Like,
you witnessed a murder
Yeah.
and you know who did it, or you kind of have a feeling of who did it, or you not participated but were in the scene, you should help.
Yeah.
Because now that father or mother or daughter or son just died.
Yeah, somebody's family members. Somebody, yeah, that's so unfortunate. And a little bit more about violence though. I want to get a few conversations about that. It's like, how do you feel when it comes to the crime situation though? Like let's say me and you rob a bank, right?
Right.
And then they say, okay, there's no snitching, right? We just establish those rules. We get caught, nobody can say nothing about each other. Let's say I kill a person in the accident, right? In the robbery. What are the rules then now?
I
Like, what are we
listen, man.
doing?
I
Because
mean,
the stakes are higher now. Before
Yeah.
it was probably like 10 years. Now it's 25 plus.
I mean, look, man. In the scenario, we have the same relationship we have now, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So, honestly, I'll stay quiet.
Stay quiet.
I'll stay quiet because if neither of us speaks and they don't really have no like video,
You might get away with it,
we
right?
might get away with it because if no one of us speaks, then and they can have no proof, they can't really know what's right or wrong, what's right or what's true or right. But if they have a video and they show us, we still not gonna be talking, but they still got the video.
And this is something I might be alone on. Like I actually think, at least for the most part, the justice system is fair. It might be not fair in a justice sense. Justice might not be served all the time, but is it legally right? At least I think so. For example, because it's just up to you how you can articulate your point and your stand on certain things. So if you did something wrong and you cannot articulate it to the point where you can convince people that you did not do something.
But remember, at that point, you're not the one that articulating that point. It's the lawyer.
That's true. That's true.
That's
and
crazy.
that's our fault too, though, for being uneducated.
Uneducated, yeah, man. Do you think if we were educated the right way in the schools, like actually being taught our laws? Because yeah, they say, oh yeah, the Ten Commandments, or yeah, know your, what is it, your laws about like the Fifth Amendment, whatever.
Bill of Rights, amendments,
Bill
stuff
of
like
Rights.
that. Yeah.
You think if we were actually went in debt and actually knew our laws, you think there would be as much crime as now? It could be a possibility that maybe not.
Yeah.
Because now, like, if you know you can't get away with certain things, now you know that, right? If I do that, then I'm gonna face some high consequences. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And this might be a little hot take, but I believe if the guy did something bad and got away with it, I think it was fair. But I do believe that it would never work the other way around. I feel like if a person did not do something and was committed guilty, that I feel like that can never go right with me.
Yeah, never. Because then, like, that person now is like probably spending 5 to 10 years plus doing
Yeah.
something that
He never did.
he never did.
He
and
never
that
did.
sucks.
That's harsh. But if I did something and I get away with it, was justice served? No. But was it? What did I articulate my points? You convinced people that I was innocent? Yes. Is that legally okay? Yes. Is again was justice served? No. But
there are loopholes in the system.
there's
like,
loopholes exactly.
And like, for example, like, there are a lot of high, like, rich people in the system where, like, they commit some really bad crimes.
Yeah.
And they get away with it because they get a lawyer that knows those loopholes.
Mhm.
They get a lawyer that knows how to articulate and how to shifts the story a certain way where it gives, like, doubt that maybe he didn't do the crime.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just paid a big sum amount to the
Yeah.
lawyer or the judge
Yeah.
and he just got away clean.
You see, now that's unethical.
That's
Because
unethical,
now it's not about representation. Now it's about who has the bigger bucks. And then if that's the case, then you guys can get away with anything.
Yeah. As long as you have those pockets for it.
Yeah. And but back to self mastery and spineless man. This is I'm gonna give you an example of why would you need and want your own mind and be in control of your own body. It's this man called Stefan Waltz, some European guy. He has left his family, left his wife, left his kids to go be a 6-year-old girl.
What?
He identifies now as a 6-year-old girl. He hired a babysitter and everything, and that's how he lives his life now.
So the 6-year-old girl paid a babysitter to take care of her.
Exactly.
Or him or her.
You see how
Delusional.
delusional this world has become, and this is why men need to be men. Because if not, they're gonna end up chopping their own things, painting their nails, wearing skirts.
And then the females, I mean the women, are gonna turn to the men.
Men.
What is that?
And now look at them. They're in a workforce now, and it's like, I feel like, and now some of them think they don't need a man.
In reality, you do, but
Yeah, right.
they are so far off in their mind where it's like, no, I don't need a man. I don't need this. I don't
It's
need
like
that.
everything you have was created by one. The roads, the car, your cell phone, everything.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Wanna cut it here?
Nah, I gotta end there with something fire. Damn, what were we talking about? And if you have managed to self-master yourself, right? Control your desires, right? Seduce them. You have not only, right, have temperance now and moderation, which is a beautiful thing, but you also have a certain sense of freedom, and that's something nowadays that you really have to work for or buy it. And if you have at least freedom from yourself, you're halfway there. And me personally, I'd rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. That's all from me, guys. That's good. All right, take care. Have a good one, guys. God bless.